Hello dear students, in this lesson I'm going to talking about round decimal numbers. Example number one, you have round 4 and 632 thousandths to the place, name it. First of all, in rounding you have to identify the place value for each digit. So always the first number I've left is ones, and after ones we have tenths. This is tenths. After tenths we have hundredth, and after hundredth we have thousandth. And then the first numbers that we want to round in is ones. Ones is 4. By rounding rule, when we want to round a number, we have to look at the digits next to the number. If the digits is 5 or greater than 5, this number that we want to round in increased by 1. But if the digits is less than 5, this number that we want to round in stay without change. So after 4 we have 6. 6 is greater than 5, so 4 increased by 1 become 5, and then we have point, and the numbers after this number that we want to round in become 0. So we have 3 numbers become 3 zeros. So when we round this number to the nearest ones, the result is 5. We can write 5.30 or we can write only 5, because this zeros after this point has no value. After ones we have to round in tenths. Tenths is 6. So we have to write ones without change, and then we have point, and after 6 we have 3. 3 is less than 5, so 6 stay without change, and these two numbers become 2 zeros. We can skip to writing these two zeros. We can write only 4.6. After that we have to round hundredth. 3 is hundredth, so we have to write ones and tenths without change, 4.6. And then after 3 we have 2. 2 is less than 5, so 3 stay without change, and this 2 becomes 0. We can skip to write this 0. We can write 4.63. Example number 2, round 10 and 826 10,000th. So first part we have to round ones, and then first of all we have to identify the numbers. 10 together, 1 and 0 is ones, 0 is tenths, 8 is hundredth, and 2 is thousand, 6 is 10,000th. So ones is 10. After 10 we have 0. By rounding rule, 10 stay without change, and these 4 numbers become 4 zeros. Or you can write only 10. After that, round tenths. Tenths is 0. You have to write ones. Ones is 10, and then after 0 you have 8. 8 is greater than 5, so 0 increased by 1 become 1, and these 3 numbers become 3 zeros. Or we can write only 10.1. After that we have to round hundredth. Hundredth is 8. We have to write ones and tenths, 10.0, and then after 8 we have 2. By rounding rule, 2 is less than 5, so 8 stay without change. And these two numbers become 2 zeros, or you can write only 10.08. After that, rounding thousandth. Thousandth is 2. We have to write ones, tens, hundred without change, 10.08. After that, after 2, we have 6. 6 is greater than 5, so 2 increased by 1 become 3, and this 6 become 0. Or you can write 10.083. After that, example number 3, we have round 8 and 5,627 10,000th to the place named. First of all, you have to identify the numbers. 8 is ones, 5 is tens, 6 is hundredth, 2 is thousandth, and 7 is 10,000th. So when we round in ones is 8. After 8 we have 5. By rounding rule, when we have 5 and greater than 5, this number increase by 1. So 8 become 9, and these 4 numbers become 4 zeros, or you can write only 9. After that, we have to round tenths. Tenths is 5, so you have to write ones without change, point. After 5, you have 6. By rounding rule, 6 is greater than 5, so 5 increased by 1 becomes 6, and these 3 numbers become 3 zeros, or you can write only 8.6. After that, we have hundredth. Hundredth is 6. We have to write ones and tens without change, 8.5, and then after 6 we have 2. 2 is less than 5, so 6 stay without change, and these two numbers become 2 zeros. Or you can write only 8.56. After that, we have thousandth. Thousandth is 2. So you have to write ones, tens, hundred without change, 8.56. Thousandth is 2. After 2, you have 7. By rounding rule, 7 is greater than 5. So 2 increased by 1 become 3. And this 7 become 0. Or you can write 8.563 only. Last example, example number 4, round 834 and 6,645 10,000th to the place named. The first of all, 834, all number together is ones. 6 is tenths, and second 6 is hundredth, 4 is thousandth, and 5 is 10,000th. And the first one we have to round ones. So ones is 834. After 834 we have 6. 6 is greater than 5. So 834 increased by 1 become 835. And then these 4 numbers become 4 zeros, or you can write only 835. After that, we have tenths. Tenths is this 6. We have to write ones without change, 834 point. After this 6, we have 6. 6 is greater than 5, so this 6 increased by 1 becomes 7, and this 3 numbers become 3 zeros. Or you can write only 834.7. After that, we have to round hundredth. Hundredth is 6. Second 6. We have to write ones and tens without change, 834.6. And then after this 6 we have 4. 4 is less than 5, so this 6 stay without change, and these two numbers become 2 zeros. Or you can write only 834.66. After that you have 10,000. Sorry, you have 1,000. 1,000 is 4. We have to write once 834.10 and 100 without change. And then we have 4. After 4 we have 5. 5 is greater. 5 is equal to 5. So by rounding rule, when you have 5, this number increased by 1. So 4 become 5. And this 5 become 0. Or you can write only 834.665.